His energetic inaugural speech, followed by Dr. M.K. Ranjit Singh's highly critical and sensitive keynote address, and distinguished resource persons representing various national parks of Assam. Today's special lectures would be delivered by two speakers, Dr. Arup Kumar Mishra and Mr. Ainov Sektionov from Indonesia. Before I introduce our speakers, I would like to call upon stage our Honorable Principal, Dr. Kulen Chandra Das, to the dais. Please, sir, have your seat. Very dear Arup Kumar Mishra, sir, to please come over the dais and have a seat. Thank you, sir. I Ranjita Bora ma'am to felicitate Arup Kumar Mishra sir with a poho woven by one of our students of the Ethnic Handloom and Weaving Center of our college. Here's a memento. And a book. And here's a college bulletin. Thank you, ma'am. Let me take the honor of introducing Dr. Arup Kumar Mishra, former director of ASTEC and AEDA, Assam Energy Development Agency. Dr. Arup Kumar Mishra is currently the chairman of Pollution Control Board, Assam. Earlier, he taught in the Department of Chemical Engineering of Assam Engineering College for almost 25 years. A chemical engineering graduate from Assam Engineering College and postgraduate from IIT Kanpur, Dr. Mishra's areas of interest are environmental engineering, sustainable development, and green engineering. He presented peer-reviewed papers in various international conferences at UK, Spain, USA, New Zealand, Germany, Malaysia, etc. To his credit, he has over 50 research papers published in journals and proceedings. We are extremely thankful to Mishra sir for finding time out of his busy schedule for this workshop. Thank you, sir. Now I request him to kindly deliver his speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, most respected Ranjit Singh sir, other dignitaries, respected principal of the college, Dr. Kulen Das, actually the anchor had already mentioned about the busy schedule. I first thought that I'll not be able to make it today, because tomorrow early morning there is a very urgent meeting in Delhi and I'll be taking the evening flight from Guwahati today itself. So I was very doubtful, but then I requested the principal to interchange the first two sessions in the morning. The person who will speak from Indonesia, I requested that he speaks at 10:30 and I speak at 9:30, because Nagaon Girls College invitation is very difficult to be, rejected. Principal and Smarjit, they came to my office and then I said that I must go. Earlier I had come here twice. Once I remember I was director of science technology when my classmate in Cotton College was the principal of the college, Dr. Bolin Bhuya. So we studied together in Cotton College for our higher secondary course. Naturally, this is something which is some slides from the past and a couple of slides here. Idea is not to make anyone expert in 45 minutes or 1 hour. The idea is to sensitize the young minds so that whatever problems we face today, it could be more sensibly and sensitively handled, tackled. This is what my message is. In spite of last almost 10 years in administration of the Assam government, always inside me, deep inside me, core of my heart, I feel like a teacher, and I feel that I am interacting to my engineering students, and therefore, this is the way I speak normally. You guys have to do something. It's not that we always keep on praising Greta Thunberg, the 13, 14-year-old girl who on Friday during the recess tiffin break in school used to come out and with a single-handedly put a placard to her own government in Sweden as well as the other heads of government that please do something to save us. Climate change is not a myth, it's real. And you guys always promise in the summit what is to be done. You try to quantify the extent of pollution. Rich countries pledge a lot of money to the poor countries, developing countries for doing things. And later on, after the summit is over, you forget everything. Sappa hori jai. So this girl came out and she started this exercise one by one. Her friends joined her. Initially, people were laughing. One girl of class 7, class 8, what she will do, she will change the whole world. But her message was very simple and clear. We want action, not just commitment. That is how the story started. And it just spread like wildfire. This is somewhere around 2015-16. 2019, an Indian delegation of some 14 members, we went for a renewable energy conference to Berlin, Germany. Exactly Durga Puja agote, before Durga Puja. So one Friday, after lunch, we had a break. So a lot of us, we came down from the hotel and we were taking a walk in the wide street of Berlin. And we found near the main railway station in a platform, hundreds of children with placards sitting there. In their own language, they wrote something. So curiously, I went there. They asked where from we are. We said we are from India. He's from other countries, from other countries. Mixed 60 country people are there in the hotel Scandic International. And we asked, what are you doing? What do you want actually? You don't know a student like us, Amar Boy Khorswali, in Sweden, she is asking the governments to change their attitude towards environment and do something real, not just give promises. So, sir, we cannot do anything from Germany. We are far apart. At least on Friday, when she is fighting in Stockholm, at least we can, sir, show our solidarity, unity with her. And you will not believe, in the entire Europe, each and every country used to do that. Then later on, you know, how Greta Thunberg became a celebrity. She was called to different summits and so on and so forth. Same story with Malala Yousafzai. Up to some extent, it's okay. When it becomes politicized or it becomes part of a huge system, then that efficacy or effectiveness really. Now, I don't know what is the condition of Malala, neither I want to know about what is Greta Thunberg doing. But when our children in Assam, when I go around here and there, and I really attend a lot of such programs, very few Assamese people are there in last 30 years who have traveled extensively from Hodia to Dhuburi in all types of schools and colleges like me. Every holiday, every Sunday, every other day when office is not there, I used to visit these places and try to talk to the young people, because we have our future and we have our faith only upon the new generation. Old generation, we have failed somewhere. We have become too much bureaucratic in nature, too much part of a system where changing things alone doesn't work. So we are looking towards you. This is something, the first slide, I had a very good relationship. I used to go to IISc Bangalore for various purposes. There was a gentleman called Madhav Gadgil, and he, in his department of ecology in IISc Bangalore, they wrote some 6 books which were published by an organization where I worked for 3.5 years. I don't know whether you have heard about it. There was an organization called Vigyan Prasar. Under Department of Science and Technology, an autonomous body was Vigyan Prasar, and we had a lot of good publications, out of which one book was their small book, which is called Extinction is Forever. So scientists assessed more than 47,000 species and found that 36% are going towards extinction. Now, these numbers are not always so sacrosanct. You might get some of the literature, why 47,000 it is more than that, why 36% is more than that. But extinction rates are between 50 to 500 times higher than those observed from fossil records. Normally we go for carbon dating, fossil records, etc. to find out eta bostu kiman notun kiman puroni. Right? Jeneke ami gos kati pelai tar sokabur kori pelai kau je kiman bosor gos, how old the tree is. Jeneke ami fossil records sai pelai kobo paru. This is called background rate. But probably the earth is slowly moving towards the 6th major extinction event. Only difference is that earlier 5 events were caused by nature. The 6th event, if at all it comes, in Hollywood cinema they say Ice Age. Bahut cinema ase, bahut documentary ase Ice Age or upor. Nai borofor jug. Sob hek hoi jay. Ako borofbur goli pela notun jibon tar pa arambo hoy. Ami to porisu bahut nai pora jano. Golpo porisu. I mean, we know about Noah's Ark. So, এই ধৰণে difference to কি মই এটা কথা in this slide I just want to tell you, if all other events in the past were natural calamities, 6th one is going to be man-made, what we call anthropogenic. And therefore, this climate change has resulted in loss in habitats and biggest threat to global biodiversity. Etia ami meeting holo ahibor agote we were talking, having a cup of tea there, Sarah Sile, and we were talking about. So I'm no one to speak in front of people like Ranjit Singh sir and the people who have worked their whole life. I'm a pakka technocrat initially and then now bureaucrat, but I love to work with people, I love to work in the field, and I love to work with such type of organizations. You see there, besides Pollution Control Board, Aranyok is there. I'm also a member of Aranyok. In many of the advisory bodies I come, try to say whatever little I know, but yes, if you really move around, if you really go to places, physically meet people, see people, how they live, then I think it's much more than reading a book or watching a documentary or a picture in the television. Manuhar মাজলৈ গলে গম পোৱা যায় যে আসলতে মানুহে কি বিচাৰিছে, কি আছে, কি নাই। তো আমি সবাই জানো অসমৰ জীৱ বৈচিত্ৰ্য লোপ পাই আহিছে। We know that. Biodiversity lost. I have to show my son some of the fish which we used to eat in our childhood in pictures now. Now he must say no. In a book you get 40 varieties of bamboos are available in Assam. One of my colleagues, Dr. Chandra Borua in Aztec, he wrote a book, Bamboos of Assam. I said, Chandra, can you show me some varieties? Yeah, maximum I can show you 7 or 8 varieties. What about the rest 32? They're extinct. I went to Silapathar Science College. It's a very, my favorite place, I like to go there. The principal is Dr. Ranjit Saikia. Collecting money from people, college, science college, just last year and last year, they got some grant. When I go there, they're in a very tragic, pathetic condition. Ranjit has done PhD and collected 200 varieties of indigenous rice of Dhemaji district and made a exhibition hall collection, where big shots from Delhi and Mumbai and where not have come, given comments. I sincerely asked Ranjit, how many varieties you can show me in your local markets? Well, maybe around 15, at best 20 if somebody has kept the varieties. Means 200 varieties used to exist. This is the story not only of bamboo or paddy, rice, everything you talk about, all elements of nature you talk about, same story will repeat. Amar asile etia nai, ebur nuha hoi gol, kiyo nuha hoi gol. So all these things are there, and climate change is definitely one of the major causes responsible for it. As students of this very good college, I know about your college and your rankings, we are all part of Indo-Myanmar Biodiversity Hotspot. Jeneke hotspot buli koy kisuman. Hotspot we are a contiguous land with Indo-Myanmar hotspot, and it is also one of the 2 biodiversity hotspots in India. Amar jitu ase Assamor biodiversity. Amar ki nai sobei to ase, Grasslands, wetlands, hills, riverine areas, tropical forest, savanna, all type of settings, natural settings exist here. This is something because I'm a member of the Biodiversity Board of Assam, not by name but by chair, PCB chairman. Last report say we have 193 species of mammalian diversity, 9 species of primate diversity, 950 avian, 293 species orchids, 38 bamboo varieties, 14 cane, 952 medicinal plants, 165 endemic flora, 70 amphibian diversity, 77 species of snakes, and 19 type of tortoises, besides 185 species of fish. These are all official records. People have worked, projects are given, different universities, colleges, people work and they find out, they try to establish this is a distinctly different species, and then from that, last report of Assam Biodiversity Board has given this. But this kaleidoscopic biodiversity is in stress. All these numbers, these are all numbers, but when you go to see actually physically something, you'll be really shocked. Once with a fractured left hand with sling and plaster, I traveled all the way to Ramkrishna Nagar in Karimganj district of Barak Valley. There was a national seminar. I was committed. I asked my doctor in medical college, he says, you have broken 3 ribs here, 3 bones here. It is better if you don't travel, but if you travel, be very careful. Along with BBC correspondent Subir Bhumik, I traveled from Guwahati. And my first request to the principal of the Ramkrishna Nagar College was, he says, any special wish? I said, of course, first wish is to see the famous Sonbil. Assam's largest wetland, Sonbil, lies near Ramkrishna Nagar. I want to see. Sir, when I went there, literally I was so depressed. I couldn't utter a single word. I said, I want to see Sonbil. Sir, in front of me there is Sonbil. There are small gullies made in the field. Cultivation is going on. People are coming with cycles. Cattle is roaming around. On the bank of the Sonbil, I see garbage of plastic carry bags. All butchers cutting meat. Sagoli kata in the. This is Sonbil. হ্যাঁ স্যার এটাই Sonbil. আপনি এই সময়টা একটু খারাপ হয়েছে, নভেম্বরে তো জল ঠল নেই, আপনি আসবেন জুলাই আগস্টে, আরে সব দিকে জল, একদম জল হয়ে যাবে. So now there is no water, therefore you have made it a playground, your shortcut to the village, cycling and cattle field, grazing place, and throwing all the garbage because it is a winter season, and our seminar was in November. After seeing that, I never told anybody anywhere I want to see this historical bill or wetland or thing, because story is same everywhere almost. We have not realized what we had. So 3,513 major wetlands of Assam right now are under anthropogenic stress. As a result, what we have, now you see 248 critically endangered species, 149 endangered species, 58 vulnerable species, and 13 near threatened species in our state. This is also the same Biodiversity Board of Assam under government stamp, which is saying that this is the situation. With growing population, urbanization, impact of climate change, and environmental pollution, we are looking for a model of optimum utilization of resources. Ami ki model law? What model shall we take? If I ask any one of you here today, students of this college, are you going to compromise with your present lifestyle? If yes, give me 10 points. In what way? Ki dhorone tomar compromise koriba? Khua, pindha, ঘোরা ফিরা করা, মোটর গাড়ীত উঠা, মোবাইল ফোনটো পেলাই দিয়া, সেইটো নোৱাৰা কৰিব. বাপৰে বাপ, মোবাইল ফোন, ইফ আই টেল সামওয়ান মোবাইল ফোন হ্যাজ টু বি স্টপ, স্যার অক্সিজেন বন্ধ কৰি দিয়ক বোলে. Stop oxygen in the hawa, but don't stop mobile phone, sir. It's our lifeline. So we people, we want everything to go on as such. Business as usual, jitu koi. Business as usual. Kintu, jetia ami dekhu je tarpora ki hobo. Only day for yesterday, paper khub bhalke cover korise with a company called Huladek. Huladek is a Hungarian word for waste. Ami je ko aborjona, waste. its Hungarian form is Holadeck. So this boy from Kolkata went to Hungary to study graduation, masters, everything, and he came back and he started this farm called Holadeck in Kolkata. With our pollution control board, we have started now some collection bins where people can throw their small electronic gadgets. Here, because I admit as a chairman of the board, the way we are trying to tackle or giving seriousness to plastic waste, vegetable waste, municipal waste, other waste, etc., we have not given that much of coverage or preference to electronic waste. Ki hobo iar pora? Etu computer to beya hol, kam nohoa hoi gol. Service center says it has outlived the life. Aru tia bhal kori labh nai sir. Notun ki nok apuni. Kot pelam moi etu? Handset to beya gol kot pelam. Tomar bhaiti bonti has got electronic toys. Clap diye, dori fude. Ase bahut putla ase, jor bhitor circuit ase. Kot pelam. Where do I throw all these things? Where do I throw my printer, toner, Xerox machine ba printer jibur lagi ase? Kot pelam moi bostu ki bole. I do not know. Sometimes some abhijan is started and then people come to the place and give it. Assam has no recycler of electronic waste. We take all the waste, try to remove the glass and plastic part. They go for different recycling process. Only the PCB, printed circuit board, where you have got precious metals, that material is sent for recycling somewhere. And there are very few players in the country which really do good recycling and give you money worth. Last year in Hyderabad, I saw one Indo-American project, 51% Indian, 49% American share. Jot cite a most precious element, gold, silver, platinum, palladium. These four are recycled from all the waste that we create. From all over the country, they take by wagons the PCBs to Hyderabad. Only the printer circuit board, not the other paraphernalia. And they try to recycle. And the result is, a lot of people are getting employment from that. Collection, refurbishment, repurposing, dismantling the waste, breaking it down into pieces, separating the main metallic part from the other plastics and rubbers, etc., glass, etc. Employment generation also is one of the objective, right? In a welfare state like India, we have to also look at that. Thik ase. Environment has to be preserved, animals have to be given their due respect, trees must not be cut, but at the same time, we also need to look at the population, 143 crore people. What do you do with that? You have to take care of each and every mouth to be fed and look for the young people to get some sort of vocation. One of course the government Sakori. When people come to my office for Sakori job, I said, I'll give you some job, will you do it? Will you start collecting from house to house all these waste and all these things? Or will you make a small center for refurbishing or dismantling the waste material I give you? Pollution control has got a lot of jobs to offer because the whole world is now looking towards solution of what? Waste disposal. Waste could be anything. After COVID, Assam's number of hospitals, nursing homes have quadrupled. Sarigun bari goise. Medical college, Amar Khamot Tinikhon. Dibrugarh, Guwahati, Silchar. Etia, Nagaon, Kokrajhar. So what is medical college? Engineering college. Cancer Care Foundation, special cancer hospitals. 19 have been promised by Tata Group, Ratan Tata, in Assam. Nursing homes, you cannot imagine. The Kheburar pa jo ulai, bostubur kot jabo, where you will go? Do you think it has a relation with the biodiversity loss? Yes, it has. You don't require huge amount of waste to pollute a river or do something bad in the soil. Biomedical waste, hazardous waste, little bit is also enough. My MTech thesis was on impact of heavy metals in river Ganges. Why Ganges? Because I studied in Kanpur IIT on the bank of river Ganges. Masters. Then I realized, oh my God, above the element iron in the periodic table, whatever you get, they take a hell lot of time to degrade in environment. Copper, zinc, cadmium, nickel, beryllium, all these metals which come after atomic number 69 iron, you find they take a lot of time to degrade, they don't degrade, and there is something called speciation. Speciation means you change your form in water. Valency is there, right? Some metals are monovalent, some are divalent, some are trivalent. Valency, according to valency, they will change. So like that. Chemical reactions, chemical speciation, this is also part of the entire game. Manuhe koi biodiversity loss. I said it's a very generic term. Specifically tell us what is the reason. When I entered the room and got introduced to sir, he told me about the fish population, the prawn population, how pesticides coming out from the small agricultural holdings and other tea gardens. The person in the garden, you ask the manager, the person in the garden who is spareable, that's spare kore pari. He elku belek kam na jane. Tak eta pithite ta drum dibo, dal pipe dibo, di pele kobo, toy sobote dawai to mari thoya. Without proper training, the person is given the responsibility of spraying pesticides in the garden. Poor fellow doesn't know that leaf has got a capacity to absorb. Beyond that, if you keep on spraying, it will remain on the surface. And one shower of rain in the night will take all the pesticides down to the nearby drains, gullies, and then it will go to the nearby rivulet or spring, and then to river Brahmaputra. It will hoy ase khoda, day in, day out hoy ase. Now, after our intervention, we have got a lot of meetings with them. Once we call all the tea owners, big tea owners to our office, and we said that you must make a person trained and specialized who will only use that much of pesticide, that too approved by Government of India, who will be doing this job, not the person who has no other job to do in the garden. Ami kiman gurutto diu, what we think about energy, environment, ecosystem, we should also look into that. But being a pioneer state of India, Assam was the first one in the nation to accept sustainable development goals as a pathway for future development. I'm not saying it. You look at the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change documents that likha ase. First, Assam was the first state in India to submit the SDG goals integrated into the budgetary allocation and all departments, which was approved by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Basically, MOEF nakoy, MOEF and CC, climate change. So, I was also involved in that exercise. Strategic architecture and blueprint was made for SDG in action. Key hoise belek kotha. I'm not going into what has happened after that. But at least when SDG was mooted, when it came after the MDG failed, Millennium Development Goal failed, then with 17 points and 269 actions, we came with a new document. UN came and all countries jumped into it. In India, Assam first time banaisile SAP-CC, State Action Plan on Climate Change, and also the 17 goals which were integrated in the planning. So, first point which I like to mention here is society. Society bad di pelai biodiversity bachabo nuari. Biodiversity is not saved by 15 people sitting in Dispur who are in the board or some organization or some society. No. It is first you and me individually. What can we do? We do not inherit earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. Very simple sentence, but yet a gutei bostu khini khumai ase. How we look at things. How we look at things. Very optimistic child will say, this glass is half full if I put half water. And pessimistic people will say, half is glass empty. Duta shabdote gom poa jay, ki siddha kori ase? Manot ki bhabi ase? Half full na half empty. Right? So yato khetu. If we think that ami ahibo loga janmo, jibur bacha janmo hoai nai aji, hihotor pithikhon dhar loisu, then you will keep it properly. If you think my forefathers given me this, all these endowments and natural and everything, then you will behave in a different way. It doesn't mean preserving everything that exists currently. It's a question of walking lightly on the earth. It will be totally impractical to say that you have to leave all your livelihood and comforts and today's lifestyle. What we are saying, let us try to put a break on that. Business as usual, no, we will now bring a sort of plateau. No more growth curve, a plateau curve, and then when we have some sort of steadiness, stability, and our goal is what? December 2015 goal is Paris Agreement, stay below 1.5 degrees Celsius. Right from the start of the Industrial Revolution, till now we have seen a lot of temperature rise, but to survive in this earth with 7.3 billion people, 200 plus countries, we have to somehow stay within 1.5 degrees Celsius. So, right? You will go and study, you can go for internet search, what is that 1.5 degree, below 1.5 degrees Celsius. This already I have spoken. You have got 5 types, maybe more life science teachers are here. Endemic plants, endemic animals, and their ratio is very important. Endemic vertebrates to area ratio, area covered with primary vegetation. These are the points based upon which world ranking is done. From last year to this year, how many rhino has increased population, how many deer, how many tiger, it doesn't come in that way. That is the reason why people do not know. People always see Kaziranga as the dinosaur of all the eyes, pura ekdam Ahomor Gaurav. Kintu Manas has a better biodiversity than Kaziranga. At all levels, Manas has scored more points. All types of vegetation, starting from the bush to the large trees, is found there. Kaziranga at times is very monotonous. You keep on walking, you only see the grasslands, rhino grass. Vibhav, Rothin, I think you will accept this. I was with Vibhav and Vibhuti in Manas when I came to know that in world ranking, that scores more than this. So, we are usually proud, whatever may be, aji situation jiye na hok, ami gaurav kobo lage je ami enakwa ekhon thait thaku jot amar imman rich biodiversity ase, and we are so, it is called the gateway of Northeast India. This I have already spoken, I'll skip. Now, direct drivers that impact biodiversity. Moi just point board disam. Je tolake phot saba goi pelai. Over exploitation of natural resource, ekho dorkar nai kobor karone. Habitat loss and fragmentation. Right? Kazirangat gaon manuhe ki koy? Moi sudisilo je tumi khinte ei je duta bah puti pelai edal kapur bel disa. Etu to eta elephant corridor hoy. Bole elephant corridor hole ki hol? Etu bahe disu moi. Lage lage khali pelabo pari. Moi to concrete or wall dia nai. Right? Now, one of my friends who worked for his whole life on animal behavior, especially in Assam also, Professor Jagdale, I met him in Pune long back, 30 years back, Ajirpura. He told me, Arup ji, हाथी को मालूम नहीं है ये खंबा बैम्बू का है या कंक्रीट का है, उसके लिए वो एक ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन है. एक फुल्ली ग्रोन एडल्ट एलिफेंट पूरा खाना खाने के बाद भरपेट कम से कम 6 किलोमीटर सीधा रास्ता उसको चाहिए टहलने के लिए, अदरवाइज खाना भी नहीं पचेगा, उसका जो बच्चा होगा वो भी डिफेक्टिव होगा, ऑफस्प्रिंग विल बी डिफेक्टिव. आमार क्वेश्चन हल जे 6 किलोमीटर अनइंटरप्टेड कोट आछे, कबात एखन बेर दि आछे, कबात एटा इटा पुरि थोआ आछे, कबात किबा एखन बेनार मारि थोआ आछे, সেইবোৰটো নহব. हाथीটো स्कूल कलेजत जोৱা নাই, बुझि नापाय टेम्पररी वाल माने कि, पार्मानेंट वाल माने कि. So this is something, fragmentation. Fragmentation is not just in the forest, dear friends. It is also in our huge agricultural land. An old man had 3 sons. These 3 sons has 2 sons each. Age of Sobhag hoigol, 10 bhag hoigol. Everybody wants own share. So huge land has become small, fragmented. That scientifically kuno kheti kobo nore. Unless they all come together, they will not be able to do any cultivation there. Because to use these modern machines, tillers, tractors, etc., you have to have a decent amount of land, which is not there. Land holding has come down because of fragmentations. Environmental pollution, what do I say? We are the people who are polluting and catching pollution also. Right? Invasive alien species. Kiman hosa, kiman misa kobonoru, I don't know. But one of Assam's minister in the Indian cabinet, his wife once brought 2 or 3 pot plants, Mati Tabot, Fulorpuri Delhi pa loi ahisile. It was the first incidence from which probably the exotic variety of earthworm, kesu, came to Assam. Before that, we had only endemic varieties. It manuhe koi ki himan nohoy tested. What example disu? Maje maje paper mi ki pao Parthenium. Sarkar sabo lage katibo lage Parthenium bur. Maje maje ki pao 5-year wonder eucalyptus tree. In 5 years it grows, but the question is it good for my soil, my country? Is it endemic or exotic variety? Kamla Chaudhary was Indira Gandhi's classmate, very close friend. She was once a director or chairperson of National Westland Commission. So she had told Mrs. Gandhi in her heydays that we need to go for social forestry, but Madam Gandhi, you don't approve any South American or New Zealand, Australia-based species which grow very fast, but they guzzle water like 100 indigenous tree would need. মানে এডাল ইউক্যালিপটাছ গছৰ ওচৰত ইমান হি বাঢ়ি যায় বেলেগ কোনো ঘাঁহ বন নহয় মই নিজে দেখিছোঁ এটা if you say biodiversity sustained by a full grown matured Indian tree আম কঁঠাল লেটেকু জামু পনিয়ল শাল এইবোৰ যিবোৰ আছে তাত কমেও এটা ষ্টাডি এটা হৈছিলে DSTৰ পৰা I was working in DST 200 varieties of micro and macro life depends upon one full grown Indian tree. Horu from starting from lichen. I mean, the whole খেলিছিল যে গছৰ গাত যে বগা বগা যে দত থাকে যে আমি নখৰে এনেকৈ দি দিওঁ lichen comes out. It's a bioindicator. If you find in the Nagaon city there is no lichen in the tree, you know air pollution is very high. Air pollution kills lichen. Starting from that to the birds which make a nest in a full grown tree, to the animals which take shelter, প্রায় 200 varieties of life forms are dependent. Is it true for acacia? Is it true for eucalyptus or any other exotic variety of trees which we have planted in social forestry? So invasive species ahibo debo napai. And then fifth factor of course is climate change. Now this is one I said these are direct drivers. They directly impact biodiversity. If you talk about indirect drivers, you have got demographic factors, which is a topic which cannot be discussed in so short here now. It needs to be a different topic. Demography and change in climate change or whatever, change in our habitat pattern. Those places which were supposed to be for trees, plants, animals, water to flow have been occupied by human beings. Therefore, we are suffering. Guwahatit industry পৰা air pollution অতি সামান্য কনষ্ট্ৰাকশ্যনৰ পৰা অলপ বেছি সবতকৈ বেছি 24খন পাহাৰত যে মানুহ যে বহি গৈছে অনবৰতে মাটি কাটে সেইবোৰ পানীৰে গৈ আহি পেলাই তলত পৰে ৰাস্তাৰ ওপৰত when rain is gone for 2-3 days there is sunshine then the vehicles move on the street rubber tire পৰা যেটো ওপৰলৈ যায় that suspended particulate matter is responsible for it. We should know what is the real fact. So like that demographic factors eta factor jitur karone amar manuhor kam korar pattern jibika jibon dhara pattern loi pele hoise economic factors of course socio political factors Durga Puja ahi ase etia Durga Puja coming means sir my headache thousands and thousands of idol will be immersed in the river and we have got so many SOPs. What colors should be used, not inorganic color, only organic vegetable color. How to do the immersion of idol. Do we have a screen on the bottom of the river where the idol will be put and that water cannot percolate down to the main water stream? Kiman SOP ase, hole ki hobo? It's a religious frenzy. Hey homot, kunu gamot nahe. I joined Pollution Control Board 3 years back. After 2 weeks was Diwali. So I didn't know, coming from the teaching background and with a very pure heart and innocent thinking, I gave ad in the newspapers. Fancy Bazaar people, Marwari people, they came to घेराव me. 200 करोड़ का हमारा जो है पटाखा क्या होगा? आप दोगे भरपाई? आप बोल रहे हो कि खाली नीरी नागपुर का जो अप्रूव्ड पटाखे है, जहाँ ग्रीन लिखा हुआ है, ग्रीन क्रैकर्स, उसको परचेस करना है. अरे हम लोग जो एक महीने से बना के रखा है गोडाउन में वो सब क्या हो जाएगा? Then some MLA minister also call me. আপুনি কি কাম কৰিছে? এই বৰ ডাঙৰ ভুল হৈছে নহয়। এই মানুহখিনি মৰি যাব নহয়। They give us lot of money during elections. Why you are stopping there? 200 crore is only Guwahati. বাকি বাদ দিয়া। Jorhat, Dibrugarh, Tinsukia, Lakhimpur. We have to work in this fashion. This is all cultural factor, religious factor. Michael, I koidlu. There are scientific factors as well. Yes, there are scientific factors also which are directly, indirectly with climate change and habitat loss, it is responsible. I'll not read the whole slides. Climate change impacts on biodiversity, Burjibur natural habitat, homogenization of species, soil degradation, fragmentation landscape. More or less I have spoken about it. Presentation will be there with your Ojas sir. You can share with the students if they want. You can give to them, no problem. This is a simple diagram of ecosystem interaction at a glance, how our hydrosphere, biosphere, lithosphere, all they interact, all the spheres interact. What is the hotspot? What is species distribution? Wildfire, now the big term in the whole world. California wildfire, Australia wildfire, New Zealand wildfire. আগতে ভাবিছিল যে কোনোবা এটা মানুহ গৈছিলে, somebody went to the forest, cigarette খাই পেলাই দলি মাৰি দিলে। গম পালো নহয়, তাত nobody is there. For 100 miles, no habitat. So when the trees and plants, they become bone dry. There's a term called bone dry. Bone dry হয়ে গলে যেতিয়া high speed wind blow করে, sparks are given. সব গছত নহয়, some varieties. That is what I've seen it in Melbourne. After the wildfire, after 2 months I had been to Melbourne. There is a 256-kilometer stretch from Melbourne city. It's called Great Ocean Road. If you go in Great Ocean Road, on the side, right-hand side, left is ocean. You can see how kangaroos and koalas have changed their habitat. Entire hill is black. So our tour guide was telling us that because of this, not a single blade of grass will grow here for next few years. Imanei khoti hoy wildfire pora. So these are the natural causes. 5 paradigms of environmental management that can mitigate climate change effect. You can see, and you can also expand later on those who are interested, students. Frontier economic, environmental protection, resource management, eco-development, deep ecology. These 5 are called the 5 paradigms of management, environmental management. Economic aspects, we know what is biodiversity's role, produce essential goods and services for all, and so on and so forth. And economic security must be there. Adequate livelihood and assets should be there. This is something like, very well documented, like an Indian constitution says, what should be done, what should not be done. Like that, in habitat loss and all this biodiversity also, we have a lot of books to read. But when it comes to society, environment, gender equity, this is a very big issue. I'm happy I'm talking to a girls' college today. You people have got a lot of responsibility. You have to fight for your rights everywhere. So we require gender equity, and Sustainable Development Goal says nothing is possible unless the lady in the house is given due weightage. She is responsible for food, fodder, fuel, all F, responsible for collection. Typical Indian village. But when it comes to the powers and rights, except few societies in Meghalaya and Kerala where there is matriarchal society, rest all are patriarchal society. So in that society you have to survive. Political accountability, complete participation, and democratic distribution. Choice of habitat and lifestyle is my choice. Wherever I want to stay in the country, I can stay, I must stay. Maintenance of solid resource base, avoid over-exploitation of renewable sources, judicious and most essential use of non-renewable resources. Cultural aspect means what? We are all human beings. We like to sometimes venture into intellectual pursuits. We have a moral existence, we have a spiritual existence, and we are emotional. That is why we are human beings. Ami je beki jontu nohoy, manu, because we have the sentiments and emotions. And those things also play a role. This theory, etc., I will forget. Now, I will go to this, just give me a couple of minutes, I'll finish. How are ecosystems affected by wrong decisions? Already the picture has been there. I'll not give you any text here, message here. What is this? Anyone by chance have seen this picture earlier? Huh? Ki naam? Three Gorges Dam. Three Gorges Dam in China, most ambitious hydroelectric project ever undertaken on earth by engineers. 26 billion US dollars. Yangtze নদীখনৰ ওপৰত এটো ড্যাম বনাইছিলে ইয়াৰ পৰা 18200 মেগাৱাট ইলেক্ট্ৰিচিটি বনোৱাৰ পৰিকল্পনা আছিলে Everybody was praising China and saying wow it's only possible in your country we can't even think of that 18000 megawatt result upstream downstream areas ships that will never move mati fati pelai korkori hoy fati goise mati pani nai uneven distribution of water resources because of the dam slush and mud everywhere etu sobotei hoy amar nai hua neki ate for Ranganjodi also we have had on one bank surplus water on one bank deficit water Bogibeel bridge hote 1 week before the bridge was inaugurated by Prime Minister I crossed through the ferry wala with tears in his eyes told me 300 families from tomorrow will be homeless, sir. We don't have any vocation. When the bridge will come, nobody will take our boat and ferries to cross the river Brahmaputra. Efale development, efale tini khota poriyalor sokupani. So difficult to balance environment versus sustainability, degradation, etc. Three Gorges Dam today is under real scanner. People from China are opposing the Three Gorges Dam because of uneven distribution of water. Look at the animals drinking water and roaming around. Singh sir might know this place. This is the famous Serengeti National Park in Tanzania. Threatened now by 300-kilometer long Trans-Africa Highway project. All animals will run to Kenya for survival and the ones which stay back would face other dangers. Already board Morise. Not just animals who can move, even orchids, plant species also have been lost in the place where the highway construction is going on and they have shifted the base to some other places. Eduki, sabai jane Rokhoma manue. Lower Subansiri, the most controversial Lower Subansiri hydroelectric project in Gerukamukh, Arunachal Assam border, Dhemaji district. This was the project where National Hydropower Corporation took up the project after receiving clearance 2003. 21 years have passed, sir. Till now, not a single unit of current has been generated. Heavy loans, heavy public money has gone inside. But every time they build a powerhouse or do something, next flood, next erosion, it's gone. Technically, the project is wrong in that place has been proven by nature. Even then, the government and the protagonist, NHPC, doesn't want to succumb. This is the condition. After probably Narmada Bachao and Tehri movement, India's third largest movement was Lower Subansiri hydroelectric project. Why it was happened? Lack of transparency, faulty plans, inadequate EIA or omission of DMP. DMP means disaster management plan. Now it is under. This is something you have seen, Delhi Metro. Bote uthisa no goi pele. Delhi jaote metro uthisa. Delhi Metro ekon. No doubt great relief to Delhi passengers, but sufferer is the historical river Jamuna. DMRC phase 2 Delhi is being connected to other regions outside city. Itia Delhi Metro is not just Delhi Metro. Delhi, Gurgaon, Delhi, Noida, Delhi, Faridabad, Osoro Jiman ase sohor UP to Gurgaon, Haryana, Bakibur UP, sab hoy gese connected, well connected. It crosses the river. A depot has been made on the banks. Many stations fall on the catchment of river Yamuna. Bare bare hak disile. All the environmentalists of India, they said, please don't do it. Most interesting কথা তো কি জানেন EIA was not done because such urban railway projects are not covered under the list of environment, forest and climate change. List of Bahirut. List of Thaibo Laibo. Court will say, is it in the list? No. Then why do you stop it? It can have bigger implications than the listed items. But নাম তো নাই নহয় ফিজিক্যালি লিখা গতিকে দিল্লী মেট্ৰ' পাছ হৈ গুচি গ'ল অফক'ৰ্ছ তাৰ বহুত ভাল কথাও হৈছে মই নকওঁ ৰাস্তাৰ ওপৰত ৰোড ট্ৰাফিকটো বহুত কমি গৈছে মানুহে আহিছে আৰামত কিন্তু এইখনটো আৰু কণ্ট্ৰভাৰ্চিয়েল কমনৱেলথ গেমছ 2010 so many politicians went to jail big great show but this is also catchment of river Yamuna it's called Yamuna floodplains games is over. Now all rich people of Delhi have purchased flats in that place. Many of my friends I know they stay there. Posh area now. EIA was not required for construction of building at the time on the floodplains. DDA was afraid of possible outcry. In 2005, NERI was commissioned to do the EIA. The report again prohibited building any permanent structure on riverbed. I don't blame NERI, which is India's only CSIR lab based at Nagpur, National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, NERI, which does work on this. Their scientists said site selection is not okay on the Yamuna floodplains. So, to conclude my speech, 10 families of climate technology for the future I have identified. Right? এতিয়া তো ইমান সববোৰ ডিসকাস কৰিব নোৱাৰো ইয়াতে যিবোৰ পইণ্ট সোমাই আছে every point has got significant role to play. Like first point is renewables. আমিও কাম কৰি আছো solar wind grid innovation batteries and energy storage circular economy আজি আমাৰ biggest buzzword to হল circular economy right circular economy এডাল খুঁটা আছে হাতত মোৰ I keep the thread open if I put both the ends at a loop হৈ গল that is circular economy মানে if I know how do I use my resources reuse it, refurbish it, repurpose it, recycle it, তেতিয়া হলে we call circular economy. আজি হেতুৱে আমাৰ দেখত হৈছে এতিয়া প্ৰাইম মিনিষ্টাৰকে আদি কৰি পেলাই গোটেই গভৰ্ণমেণ্টবোৰ এটা কথাত লাগি আছে ডেইলি এখন থাকে মিটিং আজিও আছে অন সাৰ্কুলাৰ ইকনমি বিল্ডিং টেকনলজিজ নতুন নতুন বিল্ডিং হৈ আছে এতিয়া দেখত য'ত সোলাৰ পেসিভ লাইট আমাৰ আহি আছে যিমান দিনত পাৰি আমি লাইট ফেন ব্যৱহাৰ নকৰাকৈ চলিব লাগে দিল্লীত বহুত বিল্ডিং অলৰেডি আছেই সূৰ্যৰ পোহৰত দিনটো চলি যায় লাইট নজ্বলিলেও হয় ৰাইট এইটো ৰুমত আমি মিটিং কৰিছোঁ ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জৰ বা বায়'ডাইভাৰ্চিটি লছৰ ইয়াত লাইট ফেন এচি তিনিটাই চলি আছে উপায় নাই মই সমালোচনা কৰা নাই অফিচত মই গৈ বহিলে যদি মই এচিটো বন্ধ কৰি দিওঁ মই একো কামেই কৰিব নোৱাৰিম তাতে গৈ পেলাই সেইকাৰণে মানুহে কয় যে এচি ৱাজ এ লাক্সাৰী 10 years back now it's a necessity so like that hydrogen is a fuel কাজিৰঙাৰ পৰা তিতাবৰলৈ এখন বাছ চলাই আছে অইল ইণ্ডিয়াই অন হাইড্ৰজেন ফুয়েল সাস্টেইনেবল ফুয়েল নেচাৰ বেসড সলিউশন এইবোৰ প্ৰত্যেকটো ৰিপৰ্টে এই 10টা পইণ্ট মানে 10খন ইণ্টাৰনেশ্যনেল সেমিনাৰ টপিক ইউ পিক আপ ওয়ান টপিক তাৰ ওপৰত অনৰ্গল তুই পাবা মানুহ আছে কৈ যাবৰ কাৰণে ফুড এণ্ড এগ্ৰিকালচাৰ কাৰ্বন ৰিমুভেল ক্যাপচাৰ এটসেট্ৰা so in conclusion I can say wide range in-depth research into impact of climate change আমাৰ হোৱা নাই বহুত দেখত এইবোৰ খুব সুন্দৰকৈ ডকুমেন্টেশন হৈছে আমাৰ কিন্তু হোৱা নাই ৰাইট because you are from the academic institutions you have a teacher আছে researcher আছে ছোৱালী আছে ছাত্ৰী চিন্তা কৰি চাব পৰা যে মই সৰু সৰু কিছুমান কাম কৰিব পাৰোঁ নেকি যিবোৰৰ পৰা মই গম পাম what is the impact of climate change study of combined impact of climate change and other human intervention adaptation strategies with community involvement community নোহোৱাকৈ তুমি কাম কৰিব নোৱাৰা এইটো সব যিমান সাকসেসফুল মানুহ আছে বা অৰ্গানাইজেশ্যন আছে তেনে দেখুৱাইছে যে আমি কমিউনিটি লৈ কাম কৰিছোঁ মানুহক লৈ কাম কৰিছোঁ তেতিয়া প্ৰজেক্টবোৰ ভাল হয় ট্ৰেডিশনেল নলেজটো সববোৰ পেলনীয়া নহয় কিছুমানে কয় ওল্ড ইজ গোল্ড মই কৈছোঁ ওল্ড ইজ নট অলৱেজ গোল্ড কিছুমান ভুলো আছে হয়নে ওল্ড ইজ গোল্ড বুলি ক'ব নোৱাৰি সব নিয়ম মানিব নোৱাৰি গ্ৰহণ লাগিলে মই নাখাওঁ একো লগতে থাকিম গ্ৰহণ পাৰ হৈ গ'লে ৰন্ধা বস্তুখিনি মই ফ্ৰিজৰ পৰা উলিয়াই পেলাই দিম বাহিৰত সেইটো মই নামানো গতিকে all old is not gold some old is really gold because আমাৰ পূৰ্বপুৰুষসকলে জানিছিলে কিছুমান কথা যিবোৰ মানি চলিলে our life also can আৰু তুমি চাবা maximum developed nations in the world ভাবোহে আমি যে ওয়েস্টার্ন কালচাৰটো বিৰাট এডভান্স পুৰণা বস্তু ভৰ্তি হৈ আছে জাৰ্মানীত মই 3টা অঞ্চল 3বাৰ গ'লো বেলেগ বেলেগ 3টা অঞ্চল প্ৰত্যেকখন জাৰ্মান সোসাইটি তাহাঁতে অত্যন্ত গুৰুত্ব সহকাৰে 16 17 18 শতিকাৰ ভাল ভাল কিছুমান প্ৰেক্টিছ এতিয়াও ৰাখিছে আমেৰিকাত একেই কথা আমাৰ ধাৰণা যে সব আধুনিক মানুহবোৰে মানে নিজৰ ধৰণে কাম কৰে পুৰণা সব বেয়া এইটো নহয় ট্ৰেডিশনেল নলেজ বুলি এটা শব্দ আছে ইণ্ডিজিনাছ নলেজ IK and TK these both TK and IK are very important for making a great future ahead road plan বনোৱা flood and drought risk analysis planning should be carried out study of new type of pest and insect এটো মই কোৱাৰ দৰকাৰ নাই তুমি ইমান দৰা বুলিয়ালা সব পোক মৰি গ'ল ভাবি যে আমাৰ খেতি পথাৰ মুক্ত নতুন এটা বস্তু আহি পেলাই লাইক কোভিড-19 আগৰ সব গ'ল বেলেগ বেলেগ বস্তু নতুন ধৰণে আকৌ হিয়া ওলাইল বেমাৰ এটা আহিলে পেণ্ডেমিক এটা আহিলে সো এইবোৰ চাব লাগিব অৰ্গেনিক এগ্ৰিকালচাৰ আমি গুৰুত্ব দিব লাগিব সেই বুলি বজাৰত গৈ পেলাই যোনে যোনে অৰ্গেনিক বস্তু বিক্ৰী কৰি আছে মোৰ বাহিৰত দেখোন জিকা 40 টকা তোমাৰ কিয় 60 টকা মোৰটো অৰ্গেনিক নহয় ক'ত লিখা আছে ক'ত খেতি কৰিছা বোলে সোণাপুৰত কিহৰ খেতি কৰিছা বোলে মাটি আগতে কি কৰিছিল বেলেগ খেতি কৰিছিল এতিয়া আমি অৰ্গেনিক খেতি কৰিছো কেনেকৈ কৰিব অৰ্গেনিক খেতি 10 বছৰ লাগিব 10 years time you need to decontaminate একেদিনে মাটিখিনি ভাল হ'ব নেকি গৈ পেলাই 10 বছৰ লাগিব মাটি পাই থব লাগিব to decontaminate the soil then you get organic হয় নেকি স্যাৰ নহয় এইবোৰ যে চলি আছে এইবোৰ বন্ধ হ'ব লাগিব and new and innovative livelihood options should be introduced মই কৈছো আগতে you need to innovate you need to introduce new type of devices new concepts right one country that really is very rich in thinking out of the box is India you accept or don't accept it amar China's strength to hold our manpower their products of all different types India's strength is innovation we must innovate we must have something whereby all these problems can be solved let us not be pessimistic bahal nohoy kiba eta kotha ami alochona kora discussion is my right you have to listen to it but yeah mane nohoy je I am telling that it's doomsday everything is over no life is beautiful life is nice we must live but at the same time somewhere we must put the brakes and always think that how can I make the future better and remember that same sentence again we inherit the earth from our generations to come not we get it as a donation or subscription from our forefathers thank you very much my email is here if you need telephone numbers with principal in Oja you can contact me without any hesitation wherever I go I tell the students school or college or university doesn't matter that I am free for discussion open to discussion I'm not an expert to give every answer to your questions but yes I'll try and if my organization which is now coming out to the people last 3 years have seen a drastic change in pollution control board besides the industrial base or talking to government making reports we have also gone to hundreds and thousands of schools colleges institutions NGOs to foster partnership because I believe that PCBA type of organization will only survive if people at individual level are aware and they fight for us right amar 11 ta ase office besides headquarter we got 11 office in Assam from Hodia to Dhuburi very less inadequate for 3.5 crore population we need much more young people like you all to give us information on time to tell us make us aware what we should do and by discussion and debate only we can survive and sustain thank you very much Dr. Kulen Das and his team from the Nagaon Girls College for giving me this invitation I came here shared a few points in the given time I know I have taken some more time somebody is waiting abroad for his video conference but I'll be taking leave from you also immediately very urgent meeting in Guwahati and then evening I'm to Delhi for tomorrow's meeting in Delhi so thank you once again God bless you all thank you
Thank you so much, sir, for your very interesting and thoughtful words on anthropogenic calamity. And we also express our gratitude to you for extending your financial support to us on behalf of Pollution Control Board of Assam. And we now shall be connected to Mr. Ainov Sektionov, Program Director of International Rhino Foundation, Indonesia, to deliver his lecture on virtual mode. I take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Sektionov, who readily agreed to deliver his talk. This will be the second special lecture of the day, and he would be delivering on conservation issues of Sumatran and Javan rhinos. Thank you.
Hello, sir. You are audible?
Yeah, can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear my? Okay. So I would like to start my presentation. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for having me. I am Ainov, the Program Director for the Indonesian International Rhino Foundation. Thank you so much, distinguished to invitees, and then officer from the Forest Department of Assam, researcher, and then all the participants. I would like to show you this. This is Indonesia. This is Indonesia. This archipelago of country that we have 17,000 islands, and then each of island, not all of each of island has the rhino. Only 2 islands right now that have the Sumatran and the Javan rhino. Here, from the 5 species of rhino around the world, Indonesia have 2 kind of rhino species. This is Javan rhino, or Rhinoceros sondaicus. This is the same family with the greater one-horned rhino that you have. Actually, in the past, people say Javan rhino as the lesser horn of a rhino. This is, I have already put up a second slide, show more. And then this is Sumatran rhino. This is Sumatran rhino, the population not more than 47 or 50 individual left. I would like to back here. There is Javan rhino, and I said in the past was overlapped with the greater one-horned rhino. This species probably 1 or 2 centuries live in Brahmaputra River, and then Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. The last Javan rhino outside of Indonesia was in Vietnam. However, it's extinct 2011. And then nowadays, Javan rhino only live in one place in the corner of the Javan Island in Ujung Kulon National Park. The same with this one. This is the current Sumatran rhino distribution in Indonesia, only in 3 locations, in Waikambas, Kalimantan, and the Loser ecosystem. The population not more than 50 individuals. Probably the 2 kind of the species, the most rarest mammal in the world right now. Can you imagine this compared with the greater rhino, one-horned rhino that you have 4,018 individuals, and then in Assam population, the greater one-horned rhino, if I'm not mistaken, are more than 3,000 individuals. So this is the primary threat that as we're developing a country that the same as you know that we face the human encroachment. People need a land, and then they see the forest is the land that they can encroach or for their house or for the gardener or for their activity. And then also for sure the illegal logging and then poaching activity. Demand of the horn of this rhino is quite high, still high in the black market. Degradation of habitat, the previous presenter mentioned about the invasive species. This is also happen in Indonesia. Wait, I have put this. Actually, on my screen, this is already the my slide. This is already the full screen. I don't know that what happened in here. This is not full screen. See this. Stop screen first. Yes, hello. Yeah, this is our website right now. So can you see this screen? Can you see the screen? I did. This is already this. Go to the slideshow. Yeah. Okay. Okay, everyone, I will back this. I would like to talk about what we are doing now to bring this species from the extinction. So nowadays we have the Sumatran Rhino Sanctuary, that is 250 acre or more or less 100 hectare, and then wild, the semi-wild research and breeding facility in Waikambas National Park. What we are doing, we try to consolidate the rhino to one place to breed them. And then we started since 2000 promising we can have this population right now. So we have this population right now. This is 10 individual. So last from the 2012 until 2023, we have a 5 Sumatran rhino born in the facility. I would like to show you this is the video when this This is where the Sumatran rhino just born at that facility. And then this is the video of the rhino. And then when he was 1 month old. Probably you can see there's a very different this creature with the greater one-horned rhino, because this is the smallest rhino around the world, and then this is the hairy rhino. Compare with your rhino, greater one-horned rhino or Indian rhino, maximum that's 2 tons. The maximum size or the weight of the Sumatran rhino not more than 800 kilograms. So, beside the activity for this breeding, we try to provide a good habitat for the Sumatran rhino, and then we try to provide the suitable habitat by restore some forest that was becoming grassland to be the forest. So we start this work with the community, and then starting 2020 during the COVID-19. You can see this is the picture that I take from drone at the time in 2020, and then this is the last drone that I took that was becoming forest. We have been planted more than 100,000 seedlings on that location. You can see this video. This is a flew the drone. This is in 2020. And then this is a few, I think this is last month, I took this video, and then all this is becoming forest, and then suitable habitat for some species, and then we invite, so far, the student that I invited to involve with this project has already, what's it called, make a list, more than 48 bird inhabit on this habitat, and then more than 22 mammal have already used permanent this habitat. Someday we will release our rhino to this location. In addition, we also have the anti-poaching activity, and then we've felt that we need to work with the community, work closely with the farmer to find the alternative livelihood. So this activity is increased income for the local farmer, and then by increase the incentive for the local people, this is also can increase the incentive for the habitat and rhino protection. Here, one of the activity that we have been done, working with the women farmer group. So all the women farmer group, we train them to make that's what we call eco-printing. So the leaf that becoming garbage, they try to collect, and then they try to design on the fabric and then produce like this product, the scarf, and then we call the eco printing. They can sell this for the what's called handicraft, and then make the income more for this woman group. This is win-win solution that we can increase their income, and then they are becoming frontline to protect the habitat of Sumatran rhino, and then this is also make what you call less pressure, or reducing the pressure to the habitat of the Sumatran rhino in Sumatra. So fewer than Sumatran rhino, Javan rhino left in the world. We IRF and then our are implementing a comprehensive, unified approach to avoid extinction and recover this species. We learn a lot from all of you guys from India. We know how there's Indian people, Indian government successful to increase the greater one rhino. Like in the past, in 1950, the population, there's also very few, and nowadays this status of from critically endangered moved to endangered. Nowadays, the status is becoming vulnerable. This is one of the successful program of increasing the population for one species around the world on rhino. And then thanks and a very great appreciation for the Indian people, and then also the government of India, how that all of you give a good example to protect the species, to protect the rhino species from the extinction. I think that's it that I would like to beg to the organizer. Thank you so much for having me. I would like to say that the honor to give this lecture and then share to all of you the two kind of species of rhino that almost on the status of the extinction, but I believe with unify to all of you, to all of us, we can bring them from the extinction and the population. We hope our children, our great children still can see them in the wild. I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, and then have a great day.
Thank you so much, sir, for your very interesting and informative words. Tea is already ready for us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was very interesting, sir, and very informative too. Tea is already ready for us, and we'll come back, after taking a break of 10 minutes. Thank you.